After months of waiting, it's finally time to get our gay-looking plaid on. Outlander is back. Outlander is back, and this second half of the first season is bound to be different, especially for those of us who've read the books. Basically, the first half of the season was from Claire's point of view, which is just how the book is written. But now the second half is coming from Jamie's voice, which is something totally unexpected, and hopefully it's going to give us some different ideas into what was happening in the background. The episode picks up right where we left off, with Jamie working out a deal to get rid of the price on his head and Claire in the hands of Blackjack Randall. Claire's beside herself telling Jamie to shoot him and to get out and to just get away and be safe. But he won't listen to her, and when Blackjack Randall puts that knife right at Claire's throat, he puts the gun down. Why did you put the gun down? Blackjack Randall sees this as an opportunity, picks up the gun, points it right at Jamie, and then he shoots him with nothing. So Jamie's once again saved his skin and Claire's by just outsmarting the guy. And the two get out safely, and it seems like no harm is done. Once he has her free, they go back to camp, and he is ticked off because she is a woman and she should have obeyed him. Of course, he doesn't realize that she was just trying to go home. He just sees her as causing a problem, and the two get into an obscenity-laced argument in front of the men. But they forgive each other and everything seems totally fine. Except it's not fine. The men are upset with Claire because she disobeyed Jamie, and they're kind of mad at Jamie for not keeping her under control. He knows he's going to have to make good on his promise of punishing Claire, with corporal punishment via his belt. She fights him, but he is bigger and stronger, and she gets a spanking, and she is rightfully pissed off. However, the men are happy again. This is part of the story that women love. They see a man in the old world kind of trying to dominate Claire and her standing up for herself. Even when he hits her, she still has control of her person and she cuts him off. They make a happy return to the castle with Mrs. Fitzgibbons, who's pleased as punch because the two are married. However, Lahiri is in tears. How could Jamie do this? He was Lahiri's dream man. They kissed, and he saved her from a beating. Colin is annoyed about the wedding, but he is really more ticked off at Dougal and Ned for collecting money for the Jacobite cause, and he is not okay with it. He's so angry, he confiscates the gold. However, Dougal is unapologetic, and Colin keeps the cash. Enter Jamie, who can make everything better just with his words. He calms Colin down and finds a way to make peace with Dougal, and everybody's happy. But while he takes care of that, he is still dealing with a wife who is really angry. And while they said they forgave each other in the Glen, they have not made up over the spanking. That is still just an issue at large, and Claire is over it. He's out skipping rocks at his secret place when Lahiri comes in. If the show is your first exposure to Outlander, then this makes total sense to you. But to the rest of us, this is a real head-scratcher. Lahiri comes to find him at the secret place and tells him how she loved him and how she thought their kisses meant something, and they're holding hands while she tells him all of this. Okay, at this point we're still okay because we've never heard this part of the story from Jamie's perspective. But here's where it gets kinda weird. Lahiri takes her coat off and she has basically naked breasts, and he puts his hand on them and she tries to kiss him. He does stay true to Claire because he has a vow, but he seems very conflicted. And it's super weird to the viewer because just a minute ago he was proclaiming his love for Claire in the field, and when he said he'd already forgiven her forever because he'd fallen in love. In the book, he totally plays off Lahiri as a girl and there's no reason to be jealous at all. And now they've kind of made Lahiri a reason for Claire to be jealous, and yet that comes up not at all in this episode. Which brings us back to this bedroom scene where they're both really upset and they're trying to come to terms with things. In the book, they're having an argument about Lahiri. On the show, they're still having an argument about the spanking, and Lahiri never comes up. However, they've now added in all this intrigue of Lahiri trying to seduce Jamie. So the question of what is going on with Jamie and Claire remains to be seen. Maybe from Jamie's point of view, this is what actually happened. But maybe I'm reading too much into it. I can't wait to hear what everybody else thinks. The end of the episode shows the two making up and Claire threatening to cut his heart out and eat it if he ever hits her again. Oh, while she is on top of him. So he agrees to her terms. I don't know about you, but I'm already emotionally exhausted and riled up for this second half of the first season. Let me know what you're thinking and let's talk all about it.